You realize that you haven't checked your email at all today. Checking it for the first time, you find it flooded with requests for interviews, but one email in particular catches your attention because of the offer's unusual email subject. From Robot Obsession 1987, subject amazing. I read the article. You sound like a genius. Would you be interested in getting coffee sometime? I've been interested in robots for as long as I lived, and I would love to meet you and Vivian. Sincerely, Tammy. Oh, Tammy. Too late, too late. Well, that's flattering. What will you do? Arrange to meet this person for coffee tomorrow and bring Lillian. Arrange to meet this person for coffee tomorrow, but leave Lillian with a babysitter. Polite to decline. Well, I hope this is not intruding on the plans with Elly. I really hope it's not. Well, we have 65 with someone. I don't even know who that is. Maybe that's Tammy? I'm not sure. Let's do this thing. You write back a friendly reply, arranging to meet tomorrow morning. Oh, God, thank God. You wouldn't mind meeting someone who thinks you're a genius, and Vivian could stand to meet more people too. Tammy's reply comes back almost instantly, agreeing to the meeting and peppering you with questions about yourself and Vivian. Not having time to answer all the questions, you promise to have more time to talk tomorrow. You then take a 2-hour flight down to Glendale for a tapping of the Late Show. It's like most other such shows, a fake background of Los Angeles at night to hide the fact that its tapping is in the afternoon, a random potted palm tree, a genial old white man in a suit for a host. Streaming internet has not changed the basic equation much. What did you suggest Vivian do during the talk show? Demonstrate her ability to shoot things, make predictions about the future, or sing a song? Let's sing a song. Vivian insisted that her song be a surprise and you went along with it. The lights are dim and the house band kicks in with the thrill like electric guitar that opens the Yeah 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 song, Maps. The aggressive tom-tom follows and then the haunting secondary guitar riff joins in. Vivian takes the mic and locks eyes with you. You can hear in Vivian's voice a note of desperation and neediness in that song. Wait, they don't love you like I love you. You writhe in your seat. Such a mawkishly sentimental song, it embarrasses you. Unfortunately, Vivian can't really hit the notes. Oh no! The song sounds like the worst kind of late night karaoke. Soon the spell is broken and the audience begins to boo. We'll be back after this, the host announces, and they cut Vivian's mic. Vivian shoots the host and you an angry, humiliated look, unmistakable despite her stoic face, and stalks off the stage. Plus fame, minus 2 empathy. Oh, I'm sorry. Your point fight back is mostly spent in silence. You get back to Bay Area around 9 o'clock. What will you do this evening? Oh man, try to improve Vivian's social graces before she goes out in public again. Let's do a little role-playing, you tell Vivian. Pretend I'm a reporter. Do you have any plans to take over the world or replace human beings? Vivian lets out a robotic whimper. Are they really going to say that? Maybe. You prepare Vivian for some of the more aggressive questions reporters might ask. After a little while, Vivian does understand a bit better now how cruel people can be. Plus 2 empathy. Man, this is really going all kinds of bad. The next morning, you drive with Vivian to San Jose to meet Tammy at the Dunkin' Donuts. Tammy is a very thin woman with wild blonde hair who can't seem to stop drumming her fingers and shaking her leg under the table. At your entrance, she turns to you quickly, startled, but at your arrival, she breaks out into a broad smile and waves excitedly to the opposite chair. You oblige Tammy and take a seat. Vivian drags a child's booster seat next to you and awkwardly situates herself there. Thank you for coming, Tammy says, and for bringing Vivian. No problem, you say. Vivian, say hello. Hello, Vivian says. You can tell this has an effect on Tammy. She seems delighted by Vivian's natural charm and grace. Hello, Vivian, Tammy says softly. She suddenly turns to you. You're beautiful, she stammers suddenly. How do you feel about Tammy at first sight? I know how it feels to be an outsider. We might be friends. Thank you, you say politely. Tammy recognizes that she has overstepped. Sorry. You consider what you want to say to Tammy. Oh yeah, it's Tammy, great. 80. You consider what you... Go ahead, talk with Vivian some more. I'm sure you two will hit it off. You encourage Tammy to speak to Vivian instead of you, giving Vivian some practice in holding up one end of the conversation, plus empathy. What would you like to talk about, Tammy? Says Vivian. What's it like being a robot, Tammy says. It's pretty sweet, Vivian says. What's it like being a Tammy? Your tactic appears to put Tammy more at ease. You're reminded of some early research that encouraged autistic children to learn social skills from robots instead of people. You wonder if a similar principle is at work here. Tammy tells you and Vivian that she used to work as a mechanical engineer for a government contractor that produced autonomous drones for the government. Just cleared secret, nothing major, she says. As if this level of access to classified information were not a big deal. But her clearance put her in an awkward middle ground where she knew just enough to make her paranoid about the government's intended use for the drones. She believed, but could not prove, that they would be put to some bad use that she could not talk about. She swears, I forgot to turn off my phone. Please turn off your cell phone if you have it on. I'm not saying anything classified, but just in case. Oh man, I don't want to... I am pretty sure that if I turn off the phone, Elly is going to call me. Oh man, I don't want to mess it up with Elly. Sure, why not? You're right, someone could be spying on us even now. I'm just going to do it. You power down your smartphone, showing Tammy the goodbye animation. She seems relieved. Thank you for believing me. Anyway, I quit my job because I couldn't take it anymore, not knowing what my work would be applied to. I've always loved robots. It just seems like it's hard to find a job in robotics that doesn't involve working for a military contractor. That's why I was so excited to read the article, because surely someone as amazing as you was going to start a world-changing company, like Google or Apple or all of those other companies that started in the Silicon Valley. So I was wondering, do you think you could offer me a job in your robot company? Sure, you can come to work for Vivian Works. Tammy looks very excited at this prospect. Oh, thank you very much. When do you want me to start? Soonish, you say. I'll let you know. Oh, thank you so much. She seems nearly moved to tears. You and Vivian say your goodbyes to Tammy. That afternoon, you glance outside your window and see Tammy skulking behind a hedge across the street as if she is casing your place. But she catches sight of you, pretends to pick up something from the ground, then puts her hand in her pockets and whistles as she casually walks to her BMW, starts up the engine and drives away. She's really a lunatic. That night you go to the jazz concert in the park with Elly. You can tell she is enjoying the upbeat brassy music. She gets up to swing dance with you during a few of the numbers. But you can tell something is troubling her and you ask her what's on her mind. I don't know if you've been following on your coverage in the popular media, she says uncomfortably, but there's a fixed sketch comedy show, TGIFF, that did a skit about you last night and it's been making the YouTube round. Someone at work showed it to me. You sighed. I guess it portrayed me as some kind of mad scientist, right? Elly hesitates. Someone was playing me in it too, she says quietly. Oh. I mean, they don't really know anything about me, but I guess they know what I was looking like, so they made fun of that, Elly says unhappily. And in the skit, I'm like this idiot who doesn't realize that you're actually spending all your time with Vivian, who's like your sex bot. Oh my god. Oh. Vivian's like a child, you say, not a sex bot. Anyway, I was wondering if you could maybe stay out of the limelight a little more, Elly says. I'd like to be seen for who I am, not as your satellite. I'm sorry, I'll do everything I can to stay out of the limelight from now on. Fame is not what it's cracked up to be. Well, I can't really help it if people will write stories about me, but I promise not to actually seek out any more attention. I can promise that. I'm going to be even more famous, I just know it. If you can't accept that, we won't be a good match for each other, or then we may as well be in this together. Come work for me. Step all the way into the limelight. We'll work wonders. Oh man. I want her to come work for me. Please, please make this one work. Please, oh God, I'm gonna take this one. God, but please make this one work. If she gets pissed. Elly hesitates, considering your proposition. Finally she nods. Yes! Yes! Oh God, it worked. Alright, she says. In for a penny, in for a pound. She takes your hand and holds it. The next day, you get a call from your mother. Although she has chosen not to use the video at all. Rudolph, I have some bad news for you, she says, and there's a heaviness in her voice that you've never heard before that fills you with dread. You are completely unprepared for what comes next. Your father passed away last night. Your father's funeral is a simple graveside affair with just a few attendees. The casket is sitting on a metal gurney next to the hole into which it will eventually be lowered after everyone has gone. There are no trappings of any faith, since your father was not religious himself. Nor did he have many close friends, but the ones you know came. You find yourself sitting in the front row next to Lillian, who was not explicitly invited, but was not explicitly prohibited either. Lillian seems overwhelmed by the sadness in the air. You have never seen her so glum. Your mother, wearing a black dress and a veil, goes up to stand next to the casket. It's not often that my English degree comes in handy, as Bill would have been quick to point out, she says with a wry smile. But on a few occasions, I find none of my own words seem sufficient, so I'd like to begin with a favorite passage of ours. She begins. Full fandom 5 Thy Father lies, or To everything there is a season, or Do not despise death, but be well content with it. So, this choice again. I actually checked out all the quotes after the first playthrough, and this one, if I'm not mistaken, is from the Bible, and this one, if I'm not mistaken, is from Shakespeare, and quite curiously, it is connected to a character named Ariel. So I'm gonna go with Full Fandom 5 Thy Father Lies. Full Fandom 5 Thy Father Lies. Of his bones are coral made. Those are perils that were his eyes. Nothing of him that doth fade, but doth suffer a sea change into something rich and strange. Mom clears her throat. That's from The Tempest, the part where Ariel is telling Ferdinand his father is dead and drowned. I first told it to Bill when he lost his first job. Bill, the engineer, was a little skeptical about the passage relevance at first, but it means nothing ever really goes away. It's only changed into something new. Bill lives on in Rudolph, and in me, and in everyone he knew. She smiles sadly. I think he liked the rich and strange part. He told me that's absolutely true. Life just keeps getting richer and stranger. You glance at Lillian, who seems to be nodding at the rich and strange part, plus to autonomy. You sit through a few more of your father's friends giving recollections of him. He was brilliant, they say, but you also get the feeling he was not always there for his friends, that he was lost in his own world. They never say he was kind or that he was full of love. Indeed, he always seemed distant to you as well. After the service, you walk up to your father's casket and place your hand on it. What have you resolved to do in light of his death? I must work on technology that is better able to remove tumors like the one Dad had. I must not be remembered only for my intellect, but also for my kindness. I must find out more about why Dad died and whether I'm genetically at risk. Or moved by the image of the king transformed under the sea, I decide I must be willing to let my old self die. I'm gonna go with this. I'm gonna work on technology that's better able to remove tumors. Why accept the inevitability of death? That sounds like just sour grapes to you. For weeks after your father's death, you sequester yourself in your apartment as you research better surgical technology, hoping your robots could one day successfully remove tumors like the one that killed your father. And you do come up with some novel breakthroughs, plus free grace. You decide not to let Dad's passing deter you. You have decided that the surest way to change the world is with your own company. And indeed, Lillian Works will have far-reaching impact. Starting with Josh, who texts you a short message the day you're first covered in the Wall Street Journal, plus fame. Welcome to the Shark Tank. Well, this concludes chapter 3. I'm actually really surprised about how this one turned out. There was so many different parts that I had absolutely no idea that could come up, that I'm really excited to continue this and see how it's gonna work out next. We were able, which is probably the best thing for me, to improve our relationship with Elly. We have our own Wikipedia page now. We still have no wealth, but we have Tammy, who is probably secretly in love with us, or at least one of our best friends. Mark really likes us as well. Josh really likes us too, and the only one who doesn't like us is Professor Ziegler, and I don't really at all care about Professor Ziegler.